Today on my table is the new SIRUI Aurora 85mm f1.4 full-frame autofocus lens. I also have Sony's new flagship camera, the A1 II. Hi guys, I'm Johnny from CineD, and today I have on my table the new SIRUI Aurora 85mm f1.4 full-frame autofocus lens. This is the first in a series that SIRUI is presenting, but not only that. I took the new flagship from Sony, the new A1 II, paired it together with this lens, and I was very curious to see how the footage looks like. So before diving into this review, I would like to say that I'm actually filming myself together with the Sony A1. Yes, the original one, not the Mark II, but together with the SIRUI Aurora 85mm full-frame autofocus lens. In this review, I will mainly touch and talk about the new Aurora, but since it's being announced exactly at the same day as the new Sony A1 II, I paired those together. And of course, I want to talk a little bit about the new Sony camera. So when it comes to photography, we haven't touched the camera at all. We will let others test and see if the camera is really a big step forward. But when it comes to film making, in terms of picture quality, resolution, frame rates, and so on, it's exactly the same. There are some enhancements. For example, you have articulated screen now. You have focus mapping, which is Sony's way to determine focus. It's quite nice. There is a way to import up to 16 LUTs, custom LUTs to the camera. And in terms of body design, the body itself is exactly like the Sony A9 III. The camera do have a dedicated AI chip, which of course helps with autofocus because the sensor and processor are exactly the same, yeah? So it is an evolution, but not a revolution. I will let you decide if this is enough in order to upgrade from the older model to the new one. Let's talk about the new lens. It's the first full-frame autofocus lens from SIRUI. The lens will come in E-mount, of course, X-mount, and Z-mount for Nikon. I know many of you will ask, what about L-mount? What about RF mount? It might be that those are in the making, but for now, for those lenses that are for sure will be introduced, those are the three mounts that are out there. SIRUI made that lens specifically for photographers and filmmakers. So what they did is you have a click button on the right hand side, so you can choose if you want your aperture ring to be smooth or not. That's one thing. And on the left side, you will find the AF autofocus or manual focus switch, and there is also the AFL button just above that. And this button, I assigned it to autofocus, meaning when I press on it, my focus point will stay. Doesn't matter how I rearrange my frame, but you can assign it to anything else or so many other things that you might want to. When it comes to optical quality, and of course this is very important, you can use it in f1.4, fully open. If you want more sharpness on the edges, simply close the aperture to f2 or even f2.8, but the changes will not be very big. I think all in all, it's sharp. The flares are quite nice. The bokeh in this lens is actually quite pleasant. There is no rings, it's very smooth. Yes, there are cat eyes on the sides, but this is a phenomenon that I've seen with many other lenses. When it comes to chromatic aberration, I would say that it's there, but it's being controlled rather well. And the other thing that is being controlled well is the focus breathing. If I'm already talking about optical quality, we have to be aware that there's also this pin cushion distortion. It's quite visible against this chart on the lower and upper side, but also on the sides. I don't think that in everyday filming or photography, it will be noticed unless you do some architectural photos. So we talked about sharpness, and by the way, I think that this lens can resolve up to 8K really easy. I mean, everything that I shot with the Sony A1 II was in 8K. Another thing here is how lightweight this lens is. I think it's like, what, 540 grams, which is very nice for 85mm lens. But the big thing here is, of course, autofocus. And when I tried it with the Sony A1 II, the lens is very responsive, it's very quiet, yeah. and changing focus points was also very easy and very accurate. All in all, it really performed well. The price of this lens is $599 US, but now until the end of the year it's going to be $499. So you can decide for yourself if this is a lens that you need or you like, and then simply go for it. Conclusion. So of course no lens is perfect, and if you ask me, there are few things that I would like to touch. First of all, after all those years that SIRUI is making lenses, I think that they still have an issue with the lens cap. I don't understand the issue of making a proper flat lens cap that can sit and doesn't cause the lens to move. Not that we're always putting the lenses on top, but if you do it, you want to make sure that the lens is secure. That's one thing. Second thing is, I really hope that it's doable to make a lens that has like focus gears and so on, and of course also have hard stops. When you're kind of doing a manual focus and you have to twist and twist and twist, nobody really likes this. Other than that, I think SIRUI did very well. That's for now, and I'm very thankful that you joined me for this short review. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and see you soon. Thank you.